They just get buried.
They get buried.
Underneath the tyranny of the urgent, right?
Exactly.
All those things screaming for our attention.
So what's the antidote then?
Well, I think it goes back to what we were talking about before about those practices.
Okay.
Those spiritual rhythms, those disciplines that help us reconnect with God's love on a regular basis.
So it's about being intentional.
Yes. Yeah.
About creating that space
100%.
for God's love to really take root and grow in our lives.
It's like, we wouldn't expect a plant to thrive if we never watered it or gave it any sunlight, right?
Right.
It's the same with our hearts.
We got to tend the garden.
You're going to tend the garden.
Exactly.
So what are some practical things our listeners can do? What are some, I don't know, some of those rhythms, some of those practices that you found helpful in your own life?
It looks different for everyone, but I think the key is to find what resonates with you. What helps you connect with God on a heart level.
Okay.
For some people, it might be spending time in nature.
Right.
Just being in awe of God's creation.
Yeah.
For others, it might be listening to worship music.
Or reading through the Psalms. Those are like poems straight from the heart of David. Just raw, honest expressions of his love for God.
Yeah, those are good ones.
And for some, it might be journaling, just pouring out their heart to God on paper.
It's whatever helps you tune your heart.
Yes.
To the frequency of God's love, right?
100%. And the beautiful thing is, there's no right or wrong way to do it as long as we're creating that space, as long as we're making that time.
And being intentional about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to happen by accident.
So we've talked about receiving God's love, cultivating it in our own lives.
Right.
And now we come to that beautiful but sometimes challenging part
of
sharing it with others.